AITA for prioritizing my dog's strangers. Baby over my books in a car accident. So this actually happened a couple of months ago, but it is still being held against me, so I thought I'd ask Reddit's view. My book and one an AITA by Dublement R with the Oided hero over the toady Showak and an I was completely fine about cool. Head-on collision, the driver in the other lane had fallen asleep and veered into our lane, and my book bench didn't see in time because the sun was in his eyes. I was completely fine. Initially, I thought my book and was completely fine because I looked over and asked if he was okay, and he said he was. We had my 3 dogs with us, 2 on the back of our ute, and a puppy in the back seat, so I jumped out and checked on the dogs and was calling the police. I walked over to the other car to check on the occupant and saw they had a baby on board sticker, so I checked the back seat and saw a baby. I checked her over as best I could. I work as a pediatric nurse, and the police showed up about the time I was checking the baby. I stayed with the baby until the ambulance showed up, then went over to my partner who was still in the car and was being assessed for a broken wrist. Since then, he has been constantly making digs that the dogs and strangers are more important than him, but frankly, I asked if he was okay, and yes, to me in that situation, a baby is more important. His parents are also giving me shit about being a bad gift, etc., etc. Was AITA here? Everyone involved was okay. Booking had a broken wrist, the lady in the other car had a concussion and some broken ribs. Dogs were fine. Puppy was scared so badly he peed, but otherwise okay, and baby was fine too. Edited to add, the ute is an ex-search and rescue dog vehicle. The dogs weren't loose on the tray. They were inside the canopy that is fully padded, reinforced, and has air conditioning. While I was with the baby, I was less than 2 minutes from BF and on the same side of the car as him. I could see him moving around, and not once did he call out or indicate that he was injured. So I assumed he was fine, like he said. He had just picked me up from work, and we were only 10-ish minutes from the hospital where I work. So I knew there wouldn't be a long wait for an ambulance. The total time between crash and ambulance arriving was less than 15 minutes, based on my watch. Most importantly, I stayed with the baby because while the baby was breathing and had a strong heartbeat, and she also wasn't crying, which you should expect in a situation like that. The only times I, as a nurse, have come across a baby that has been in an accident and isn't crying have been when said baby had significant brain damage, so I was concerned that the baby potentially had internal bleeding or similar that could kill very fast for a baby and would have her in too much shock, poor brain state to cry.